Hello and welcome to episode 31 of the Youth Intake Challenge. We're in season 10, we're coming up towards the end of the season, our first season in League 2, and it's Youth Intake Day, so stick around and we'll go through what we've got with the new facilities. Welcome back. So a couple of things to update you on really is we've got a new camera with a new microphone, so hopefully some of the lip syncing issues will be solved a little bit. It won't be quite as blurry and you should hopefully be able to hear it a little more clearer over the background music, so that can only be a good thing. So let me know how that goes on in the comment section. In terms of the competition, there's not much to keep you in track of in terms of the cups because we've already covered them. We were out of all them by the halfway stage. In terms of the league, we're still about 18th. We're a good 14 points clear of the relegation zone, so barring an absolute miracle where we lose every game and Notts County win all of theirs, we won't get relegated, so that is a massive positive. A couple of things to update you on in terms of squad, etc. I mean, again, there's another player we've let out on loan there. So we've let a few players go out on loan, and I've filled them all into the under-18 squad initially. We'll avoid the youth candidates for now till we get to there. So that Moody, Williams, Purdy, Gundays, Horney and Nelson have all gone out on loan just because they're not getting the game time they want here. Normally I wouldn't let too many of them go, but they are all over the 18 years of age, which is where you stop kind of benefiting from the club training. So as soon as you get that kind of 18, you want to really try and get them out there playing for some clubs, etc. So yeah, we've let them out. Some of them have got some high potential and might keep long term. So Darren Nelson, he's one that we might keep because we're looking for a striker moving forwards. That's if one of our other strikers, such as Tony Watson, who is nearly ready to be introduced for his debut now. In fact, what we'll do is move him up to the senior squad and see if we can introduce him shortly. Some of the other players have had a couple of appearances as we've gone along, just because we've been struggling for fitness. You get them game times around the kind of January, Christmas period where you've got too many fixtures for the amount of players you've got, but that's where we are with that. In terms of the squad, we've not had too many more want-away players. There's been a lot of interest in, I thought it was going to be Adi McAvoy, but it wasn't. A lot of players, a lot of teams sniffing around Kasaba Rasco. He's a brilliant player. He's not reached his full potential yet. He's up to 3-star current ability. He's just on an absolute massive curve. He's playing week in, week out. Most of the games we play, he's in, and he is a phenomenal player. I mean, again, there's not much more to say about him other than he is one of the first names on the team sheet because he plays that holding role really well. And if we just go back to his overview so you can get a good look at him, he's fairly professional, right-footed midfielder. He's not particularly tall, 170 centimetres, but just kind of bossing that area just in front of the back four. He's been that one bit of stability, and you can see through his average rating that he's fairly consistent throughout League 2 at 6.94, so yeah, one of the better ones. Across all the players as a whole, if you've got any player that's kind of had a huge number of games, Raxo is the one that's got the highest rating out of them. You've got Eric Lynch, who's recently made his debut. He had one appearance and got 2 goals. So again, one of them players that came through in the last intake, getting on the pitch and getting some game time. He's already up to 1.5 stars. So his average is 7.9 after one game. Don't read too much into that. As he gets more games along the way, he will develop. But he looks, from a real kind of base, he looks like he might develop into being a phenomenal player. So that's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the squad planner, etc., we're looking pretty good. Before we get to the intake, the kind of areas we're looking for is an out-and-out goal scorer. We need someone who can finish. We've got Lamar Hammond, we've got Spencer, but none of them are particularly good at finishing, so we need someone who's got a bit of finishing ability up there. Maybe a right back is probably the next priority out of that, and then just squad players to boost and improve. This will be the first intake we've had since we've made all the improvements to the facilities. So in terms of the facilities, I mean, we've got excellent youth recruitment, exceptional academy coaching. We've got adequate youth facilities that's just been upgraded, but since we've made them changes, we've not had an intake come through. This will be the first one, and boy, do we need some good players to bolster the squad. Nothing really in terms of injuries, etc. Dimitriadis is the latest one to add to the injury list. He's dislocated his shoulder just in the previous match, so he'll be out for a number of weeks, 5 weeks to 2 months. that kind of means that he'll get less exposure to the first team. He's 21, so he's kind of well established now, but that'll give Itodo a few more chances to play in that kind of left wing. So Effie Itodo, you can see him there. Again, he's not had the exposure he needs really, but now he's going to get some game time playing on that kind of winging on the left. So again, squad-wise, not really much more to say than that. You know all the ones that are really good. We've got the established players. We've got the McAvoys and Atienza. Mike Martin's another one we maybe tip into. He's getting more and more games as we go along. 11 appearances now, 2 goals. He's got a lot of potential. Big, tall, 201 centimetres, American. Jumping reach is good. He's got stats. Maybe not quite as good at tackling in position as he would like, but he's only 18, so he's got a bit more to go through. So, yeah. And in terms of the rest of the season, I mean, schedule-wise, it's just been very hit and miss. We've got the odd win sporadically in amongst some losses and some draws. Probably quite consistent with what you would see from a team that has been recently promoted. Beating some teams that we probably shouldn't, losing to some teams that we probably should be getting a better result against. But overall, we've had the point spread enough to keep us in the league. So we're going to achieve our goals. I wouldn't worry too much about the final 5 games. This is all now about the intake. So I'll get us ready for the intake. In fact, I think it should be... Yeah, we've got it in the inbox. So just a little bit of Raxo showing pleasing progress. So again, you can see him there, consistent, professional, can improve a lot. So we need to keep him. So bids coming from Sheffield Wednesday, etc. Blackburn. He wanted to go. We said no. We've kept him. And I really don't want to let another one go. We've let Cartman go for a big fee. We need to kind of live off that £1 million just for a bit longer before we let anyone else go. So here we go. Intake. We want right backs and strikers. So striker, no right backs. 2 strikers. A couple centre halves, a left back. Interested in a midfielder. We have got a right back, a wing back, which is what we play, so that could be useful. And no decent talent, it's just good talents, top talents, and elite talent. So yeah, we couldn't have asked for much more than that. I'll have a quick look at these, but I don't think they've got the development threshold to really keep them. Again, I need to be really harsh on them. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, I really can't afford to take them. So there's not really much point looking at them. So we'll skip straight up to Marcos Silverio, Portuguese right winger. Again, we've got Moses playing out there at the minute, but we're looking for a bit of pace and a bit of crossing. Which 9 on both of them. He's got a balanced personality. He's got good technique and passing and a first touch. So actually, and his off-the-ball teamwork vision. That's as an advanced playmaker. We normally tend to play in that kind of winger role, which then he's not quite looking as clever for that position. So it might be something we have to play with. I don't particularly want to go playmaker out on the wings again, because I quite like having the playmaker central. And I don't think, and somebody let me know in the comment section, I think it's a bit messy when you play with more than one, but we'll see. It looks like a handy player. He's technical. So yeah, promising. 16 years old. A good start to the intake. And we'll snap him up. What have we got after Silverio? Another foreigner. So Tommy Fransen, Norwegian. Advanced playmaker on the right, so very similar. Again, I think I'd prefer a winger. Physical's nowhere near as good. Really good mental stats. Decisions, off the ball teamwork. Technique's good. Determination's about middle, so it's alright, but again, pace is low, so for a winger, not great. Unless some of them stats improve, we might have to kind of bend the knee to an advanced playmaker on the right. So balanced personality, but Tommy Fransen. So I would say of the two of them, I think Silverio, and that probably goes to show from his potential. I think Silverio's got the edge on Fransen, but we will sign them both up. Scott Parker, ball winning midfielder, so we haven't had one of them. It's good work rate, good teamwork, determined, fairly professional, hard-working midfielder. Tackling's a little bit low, marking and positioning a bit low, but again, I think a ball winner in midfield is something we really need. We need someone who can grip it in there. I know we've got Rax who plays deep, but he normally tends to play in a kind of playmaker role. If we're not playing Spence in a playmaker role in the middle of the pitch, but It's good to have something different. So ball winning and box to box gives a few different dynamics in the middle of the pitch. So really happy with that. Scott Parker, another one that's good in that central area. Paul Murray, ball winning midfielder. Another one plays slightly deeper in the Raxo role. Again, casual player, determination a bit lower, good teamwork and work rate, balance and fitness, good aggression. So a ball winner we can play slightly deeper if we need to as well, which gives us a few more options in how we balance out in midfield. So again, really good one. Young Englishman Paul Murray will be signed up. What have we got next? Callum Coleman, a wing back right. He plays slightly forward. I like him to play in the more of a full back position, but a wing back. Physical's not terrible. What's his dribbling like? 8 and 7 off the ball position, so he's a bit weak in these areas. If we put him a bit deeper, again he's got good work rate, good acceleration, needs a bit of development. He's only 15, so he's slightly younger than some of the other players, but again we need someone in that back right position with a little bit of potential ability. So Coleman will develop as best he can in that area. Next one is Sol Curry, no nonsense centre back, so we're looking for height and heading. 178, so he's a bit short. Determination and bravery is good. Good balance. Teamwork and work rate is good. So actually, I wonder if we could put him in as a full back type position. Although he's not terrible. I mean, he's 178 centimetres too small. Can he still grow at 16? Has he got another couple of years just to eke out a few more centimetres? Fairly determined player, but again, I think he'll do good. He's got a couple of years to develop before he probably gets into the first team. But Sol Curry looking like he has options between centre back and full back. Next one, goalkeeper. So, and this is an issue actually, and it's probably worth touching on it now. Is Fredericks, who is our number one choice goalkeeper. He has accepted a new contract, but he insisted on a release clause, so I don't think it'll be too long before Fredericks disappear. Now we have got Borrowdale, but now means we need another keeper, so Raymond Insaka might actually prove to be quite important as we go forward. So we'll sign him up, we'll have a look at him. 108 centimetres, not as tall as some. Good agility, fitness. Maybe not quite the sweeper keeper. Position reflexes, so he's not bad. Communication, command of area is good. Actually, I don't think he's that bad. Actually, I think he could easily do a job coming on from the bench if necessary, or playing his third choice colour. So we'll sign him up and see how he develops. So that's the top talents out of the way. Into the elite talents, of which we've got 6. Matthew Neal, a left back. We've been having a problem with Branthwaite and Cockings, both wanting lots of first team football. Let's add another one into the mix potentially. Quite short, good work rate, and ambitious. Tackling, marking and positions not spectacular, but again we'll probably sign him up, give him a few games, reserves at first for a couple of years. If he doesn't develop well enough, we'll probably just look to sell him on for a profit, because we've got quite a few left backs now. Seem to be collecting them more than anything else, but he's probably been one of the less inspiring of the intake players came through just now. His stats aren't immediately jumping out at me, other than plays 1-2 as a trait, but I think we've seen better than that. Juddy Mandanda, ball winning midfielder again, so we've had a couple already. This one plays slightly higher up, but Juddy Mandanda, I mean that to me jumps out as a much better set of stats. Young attacking midfielder, fairly professional, ball winning midfielder. I mean, when he plays further forward, advanced playmaker, do I see him as that? No, I probably think he's a ball winner, so he'd probably play a bit deeper. I think the stats suit him being a ball winner than anything else. Again, let me know in the comment section. And for a 15-year-old, his head's going a little bit quicker than even mine is, and I can't talk, but there you go. Juddy Mandanda might be a favourite to slot into that kind of ball winning midfielder role, so he's a definite. Next one, striker. So the first of the 2 strikers, we've got Tony Dunk, Englishman, advanced forward, and he's got a finish in a first touch, so that's massive. He's already 2-star. He's got a bit more pace, he's got some acceleration, composure off the ball's good, work rate's good, and ambitious is a bit frustrating, but actually if we compare him with Lamar Hams, Tony Dunk is a much more attacking player. He's got a little bit less physical and speed, but actually I think Tony Dunk might get some game time even before the end of the season. I can see him making his debut fairly early, so absolutely buzzing to get a striker in that might actually get some goals. Next one, third last, Montel Clifford, a centre back, up to 5-star potential, 183 centimetres, so reasonably tall, determined, which matches his character. Jumping reach is a bit low, marking and tackling's not spectacular. His work rate could be doing with being a bit higher, as well as his bravery. But yeah, I don't think he's actually as good as some of the other centre backs that have come through, even though he's got the high potential threshold. But again, he might prove me wrong as he develops. Christopher Friday, Nigerian centre back, no nonsense centre back. Can he fare a bit better? I mean, already he looks a bit better. His heading's good, positioning's good, work rate, technique, tackling's a touch on the low side, jumping reach is good. He's taller at 188 as well, brave and determined, spirit, personality. So I actually think Christopher Friday is the better of the two, so we might introduce him into the squad quite early again. Still only 15, but it looks like he could be a really good player for us going forward. And then the final player, Sunday Emenike, Englishman, deep line forward. Again, he always got dribbling and first touch, but his finishing's poor. Not quite as fast either. Brave, good off the ball, good teamwork, good technique, but lacking in some of the other stats. Runs with ball through centre, so that's quite good. He'll drive at the defence, but he's unambitious, which is a bit frustrating. However, yeah, we'll sign him up. So I think overall that is a pretty spectacular group of players. We will get them all in the squad. I'll play to the end of the season, and we'll see where we finish off. There's only a few more games left. We'll see where we finish at the end of the season, and do a bit of end of season awards. So stick around as I get through those parts. Welcome back to the end of season review. We didn't have a great end to the season. We bled in a couple of the younger players. I'll show you the schedule afterwards. Got some goals from some of the new ones, so it's always good. And I did it more to build for next season than this season. In terms of the transfers, then new arrivals, no new arrivals, only the intake. For those who aren't aware, we will only use the youth system, so there never been any transfers in. In terms of transfers out, Gary McHugh went. Again, we just lightening the squad. Lewis Cato went. Again, not too much hardship with that. Michael Cartman went for 1.3 million. I really wanted to keep him because he was one of our best midfielders moving forward. I mean, you can see that he's been estimated 5 to 6.2 million. We do have a sell-on clause for him, but we needed that money to kind of implement some of the changes to the youth system and get the facilities upgraded. So we've taken a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. So Michael Cartman moved on. Board delighted just because of the financial aspect of it, and he was sold for far more than he was worth. His value was 37.5 thousand, and we got 1.3 million, so that's massive. Jake Gilder we let go. Again, he didn't have the potential threshold. He's been with us since the start. He's 26 now. Bit of a shame to see him go because his mentals and physicals are pretty good, but his technical abilities just weren't good enough for this division. Benjamin Nchama, who've been trying to get rid of for a long time, he's finally moved on. Hopefully he's finding a club that he fits to. He's currently playing for Colston, but not one for us really. In terms of the loans, Horney went out towards the end. Moody went out for a large portion of the season, playing 27 games, getting 9 goals. We did get some fee for him for that. And Darren Nelson again, he just went out for a few games towards the end of the season, just because he wasn't playing for us. In terms of the season then, I mean, what can you say really? We faded off towards the end. We're largely inconsistent. We got caught out a little bit in the fixture congestion over the Christmas period, as you normally do, especially when you're in a limited number of players. But we did enough to stay in the division. We finished 18th. We were a comfortable 12 points clear the relegation zone. And in theory, we should have developed the players towards this league for next season. What was a really good youth intake came through this episode. So over the summer, we've got to be really ruthless in rationalising that squad, getting the numbers down and keeping the cream of the crop as we move into next season. FA Cup wise, again, Crew Alexander knocked us out the second attempt. Carabao Cup, Harrogate jumped us out. Again, not trophies we're ever going to win. Bristol Street Motors Trophy, something more realistic towards us again, but knocked out. I mean, a couple draws and a tight loss, but again, all in all, the cups weren't something we were really going to do. What was important was staying in the division, and our top goal scorer, surprisingly, was Dimitriadis on the left-hand side, who got most of his goals in the first half of the season. Moments to remember, a 4-1 win at Sutton. You can see Dimitriadis there with a hat-trick, so that takes up some of his 10 goals, taking them all in one game. Moses with one on top. Match to remember, 2-0 win at Wigan, and I think we might have beat twice along the way. Moses and Cockings with the goals. And then goal of the season, the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, Raxo with the top quality strike. Again, clearly one of my favourite players. Although there's been some good players coming from the youth intake, who I'll catch you up on as we get into the schedule, because we've got a couple of new goal scorers to talk about. In terms of reputation, not really changed. Sponsorships, not really changed. And merchandise, I don't think it's particularly changed. Spence would drive over Dimitriadis, McAvoy and Peterson. What I would say is that is what's absent there is an out-and-out goal scorer. Normally one of your top shirt sales players will be one of your main strikers. I would say we don't really have one, but that might all be about to change. In terms of the lineup then, we played the 4-3-3, deep line midfielder, deep line playmaker. So Cockings, Atienza, McAvoy and Potter playing in front of Fredericks, Raxo, Peterson and Spence in the middle, Moses, Dimitriadis and Hams, which is a fairly consistent team. And if we can build on that and bring a couple of players in, Hams is one I'm looking to replace. Potter's taken over Bellingham at right back, which is good. We've got a couple of contenders for left and right wing now, which is really good as we move forward. Player of the season then, Raxo. I don't vote for that, so it's not me swaying the decision, but 17-year-old player being your number one player of the season, and I think he will be again next season. I think it's phenomenal. If we can keep him long term, 2036 is when his contract's up. We will try and extend that in the future. But yeah, he picked up nearly all the awards, so he's one we absolutely have to keep. Most league appearances by player at the end of 392. He's been with us since the start. He's 25 now, and he's still one of our first choice centre backs. So what a bonus he's been for having him. In terms of the timeline then, 4-4 draw on the last day of the season. I mean, again, I'll take you through that in the schedule. We were 4-1 down at one stage and got 3 late goals, but we'll see. 7 high potential players coming in, that's massive. Again, Silverio, Scott Parker, these are players that are going to come in. Hopefully you'll see them a lot more next season, so that's where they go. In terms of the schedule then, towards the end, here we go. Tony Dunk. Gave him a couple of starts towards the end of the season. He got 4 goals in 2 games, so I think it's clear to see that Tony Dunk is going to be a player for us, and I categorically say now he is probably going to be our first choice striker next season. He's only 16, he's the youngest ever goal scorer in League 2 now at 16 and 10 days. Really looking forward to see him get a full season and see what we can do. 4 goals in 2 games. He did have a substitute appearance the match before, but that is phenomenal, and I think you'll agree with me. He's an exciting player at this level, and I think next season should be a really good one. The other players that kind of came in there, Eric Brooks, he came in on the left wing. Again, flat left winger, but he played in the advanced role. Not quite as pacey, but again, he got himself on the score sheet, so it gives a little bit of contender to Dimitriadis for that left-hand side. I think there was a couple more, got some debuts in there, so if we go to the squad, I've got it filtered all in a minute, in fact. There we go, if we go from the bottom. Mandanda got on for a game, playing a 6.7. Amal Taylor's been on. Christopher Friday got a game at centre half. Eric Lynch has got a couple of games. Brooks, as we've talked about. Clement, Peter, Dunbar's making a bit of a return. So, again, really excited about the high potential players we've got at the club. We just need some of these to develop and get to where Raxo, McAvoy and Spence are. If we can be patient and get some of these to come through, we've got an absolutely phenomenal squad in the making here. But saying that, we're going to have to be quite ruthless in getting the numbers down, and I think we're going to start chopping some players. So Moody, Spencer, Cockings, Dunbar, Horney, McCoy, Purdy, Williams and Bellingham, they're probably first for the chopping block. We'll look to move some of that in the summer. Where we can, we'll get some transfer fees, but I think we really need to thin this squad down. And again, it's on me to make sure that when we develop the squad of 25, which I really need to get it between 25 to 30 is all right. I think having a little bit of flex in there is good. As we've seen, we've got quite a December period for fixtures and congestion, tiring the players out, especially when Spence, one of our best players, he's an international. He's played 73 international games now. That distracts him from the league, adds to his workload for the season, and we need to give him a bit of a rest when he's going out to do some of that. So again, it's things we have to look at as we move forward. In terms of the contracts coming up in the summer, Dumbaya, Moses, Bellingham and Cockings, I'm not sure whether to just let Cockings go. He's got a huge battle against Braithwaite. I think they're very similar. I don't think I'll be able to keep both of them going long term forward. If we find Braithwaite, he's actually got a higher threshold moving forward, so I think we might let Cockings and Bellingham go. Moses, I think we'll keep. Dumbaya, I mean, he's a tricky one. I mean, I did initially when he came to us, I like the look of him. I like him in that advanced midfielder role, but I'm not sure we're ready to transition to that formation. I'm not sure if we can keep him. So again, we'll make a decision in the summer. Really got to rationalise this squad down and set ourselves up for our second full season in League Two. It's going to be tough. There's big teams in there. That's the challenge, isn't it? And I think we've got enough potential and ability around us to put in a much more of a fight. We'll aim for mid-table. We'll start to wheedle out some of these players. Got Tony Watson to give his debut yet as well, so again he'll move forward. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff to do in the summer. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. I think it's been one of the best youth intakes we've had so far. Really excited about the likes of Tony Dunn and Christopher Friday, who I think they might be two of the best players we've had come through the intake in a very long time. Add to that Eric Lynch, who came through the season before. Exciting time at Dulwich Hamlet. So until next time, enjoy yourselves, enjoy the football. Hopefully England will put on a good show tonight, and I will catch you when the next episode comes out. We do our pre-season predictions for Dulwich Hamlet in League 2 in season 11. So